Welcome to Lille in France. This is the fourth largest city in France. And today we're gonna explore the city for the afternoon. Let's see what it has to offer, the most important sites in the center of the city. We're gonna do this with our dog, Ador, which is a bit sleepy and lazy as always, but he does love exploring. He's also a bit slow, so that's why I'm saying like we're gonna explore as much as possible for an afternoon. And yeah, we're gonna be doing a lot of walking. So let's see how this is going to go. Just a few mentions, we chose to visit France for this summer as a road trip. We have a bunch of stops in France and we decided to take our dog with us for the adventure because France is one of those European countries who love their pets, and basically they're welcome in a lot of places, including hotels, brasseries, restaurants, and other cool stuff. Of course, they're not allowed in churches, but otherwise the beauty of France is mostly the architecture, so we're free to roam around and stroll on the beautiful streets. So that's what we're going to do. Let's explore Lille for now. So first stop in Lille is the bell tower. This is the bell tower right behind me, and if you want to get the best panoramic view over Lille, you have to climb this tower. It has a height of approximately 104 meters. And you can climb for about €7. I think it's a ticket. And the thing is that you have to climb the stairs because there is no elevator to get there. But the views, I've been reading online that they are magnificent. Unfortunately, we're not going to do that because we already did some effort climbing some towers before we got here in Germany. And also, we are not allowed to go there with the dog, I assume. Usually, dogs do not like towers. So I'm just putting this out there. If you want to start your day in Lille, go for the bell tower. This one over here.
Hello, here we are, me and my dog in Lille. And as you can imagine, we've run out of money. So once Dore finishes the water, we'll use it as a begging bowl. Because the people from our country, the reason why they're usually here in Lille, never mind. Why are we here in Lille? Because we're going to Normandy. And Lille is the fourth largest city in France, and really beautiful. It's actually part of the Flanders region, where they have interesting beer and brick buildings and interesting food, mostly with meat though. And this is one of the biggest cities in Flanders, like Ghent or like Bruges. But it's not actually in Belgium like the others. It's part of France because this is how history worked. But it's been a part of other nations as well. Flanders and the Dutch had it for a while, and the Spanish had it for a while, and the language itself from the region of Flanders is, from what I understand, basically Dutch. Why should you come to Lille? Beautiful brick buildings, and yes, the beer is very good. In fact, although they mostly drink wine, in France this is maybe the one city where you're gonna find craft beer and a lot of Belgian beer. I've already sipped a few yesterday. Behind me, that beautiful building right there is Le Palais des Beaux, if I'm saying that right. And it's basically the second largest museum of fine art in France, besides the Louvre. It was founded by Napoleon, who really wanted to encourage art in this part of the country. And there's another impressive building behind me. And if you're wondering what that is, I was wondering myself. I thought maybe it's a palace of some kind. But it's the mayor's office, I think. If you've ever been to France or even to Bucharest, this will look familiar. But I'm told that this is the original. And what we have in Bucharest is the copy. Quite like though. If the sun gets out of these rain clouds, we might actually have a good time over here. I was speaking in this mic earlier, and some policemen passed me by, and they were mocking me for speaking English. But I laughed on the inside because I am speaking a foreign language, not my mother's tongue, but they're doing the same in Lille because guess what? They weren't speaking French here a few hundred years ago. But, they've forgotten that. And, policemen are the same everywhere, just a little chubbier and bolder here in Lille. Otherwise, beautiful people, incredibly friendly, and a lot of them, but not all of them, speak English as well, besides French. None of them being their mother tongues originally, but really friendly people. Nice place.
Next, we visited the city's main square, Place du Général de Gaulle, or Grand Place. It's in the center of the city and it's always buzzing with life. Students, people meeting friends, shopping, kids, everyone is here. It's surrounded by beautiful Flemish-style buildings painted in warm colors, and in a way it feels like you're almost in Belgium. In the middle it stands the column of the goddess, which celebrates Lille's resistance against an Austrian siege in 1792. And of course the square is named after Charles de Gaulle, who was born right here in Lille. Next to the square is La Vieille Bourse, the old stock exchange, which was built in 1650s. It was designed to show off the wealth of the city's merchants. From outside, it looks like one building, but it's actually 24 identical houses arranged around a courtyard. Today, the courtyard feels magical. Inside, we found a flea market where they sold secondhand books, old posters, and all sorts of stuff that you might want to collect. You can wander around, browse for a book, or just sit around and soak in the atmosphere. At the entrance, there was a sign saying that dogs aren't allowed. However, like in many other French places, if you carry them in a bag or in your arms, nobody really says anything. So our little one came along with us without any issues. Then we stepped out on the opposite side of the courtyard and we found ourselves in front of the Beffroi de la Chambre du Commerce. It's one of the most photogenic buildings in Lille, in my opinion. With its tall clock tower and ornate details, it feels like it belongs in Brussels more than in France. And many people don't know this, but the tower is sometimes lit up at night and it becomes a beautiful landmark against the evening sky. For us, it was just a great stop to look up and take a few photos. Then we continue our walk towards the Notre-Dame-de-la-Treille Cathedral, and I have to say this is one of the most unusual cathedrals I've seen in France. Work on the cathedral started in 1850s, but it dragged on for over a century, and the modern facade was only finished in the 1990s. From outside, it looks almost futuristic, a huge sheet of white marble that glows when the sunlight hits it. Inside, the style is more traditional, but the stained glass windows create a beautiful atmosphere of light and color. It's free to visit, but dogs aren't allowed, so we took turns on visiting the cathedral. Funny detail, many locals weren't convinced by the modern facade at first, and they called it the fridge door when it was built, but over time people grew to love it, and now it's a symbol of the city. And then we ended our walk with a well-deserved stop for a beer and a snack at a bar near the cathedral. Lille is famous for its beer culture influenced by nearby Belgium, and you'll find plenty of local breweries here, and it's a perfect way to wrap up the day, sitting with a cold beer or cider. After exploring the city, feels like the best way to take in Lille's atmosphere. Edward has it was an easy choice. You saw a place called
Cider. They really like rain here because it makes the apples grow, and if the apples grow, you can make cider. This was my first instinct was to go into this place and order a beer. But I quenched that instinct and I walked around the church first. And being satisfied with myself, having walked the dog, I stepped inside for a beer. But out of the 16 beers they have here, it was the cider that really caught my attention. So, cheers. How do they say cheers in French? Okay. This is great. I've had. It's just the name of the bar on the front. I don't think I've had cider in France before. Stupid me. So I've tried a beer, I've tried the cider. We have no choice, but we have to try the champagne and the wine.